It is a very windy day here in Northeast Oklahoma, so I'm using my phone camera so that I can use the microphone. As you can see, I got a microphone on so that you guys can hear me. But we're going to go out to see the female goats, and I'm going to feed them and talk to you a little bit about what's going on. I'm going to go ahead and feed her. Yes, I am still giving her a bottle. She's not too old, but she is old enough that I could wean her. But if she had a mom and she was left to mom was taking care of them, she'd probably still be nursing just like the rest of them are. And as soon as I can get her off the bottle, I will. She's down to 2 bottles a day, and that's because I'm trying to keep her in this pen. She can fit through the cattle panels, but she doesn't have a mom hanging out with her to come back to. So in the mornings, I give her a bottle to kind of keep her settled down, and then in the evenings before bedtime, I give her a bottle, make sure her belly is good and full so she isn't tempted to roam around. And it won't be long, guys, and you won't be seeing this anymore. Our little girl's growing up. Okay, it's time to fight through the crowd so that I can, somebody's on me, so that I can feed them. They're so crazy. So crazy. Okay. See, she's getting along better in here. You want some more? All right. Even with this microphone on, I'm afraid you guys won't be able to hear me. So I guess I'll start out with showing you what happened here. We had a huge storm come through, and it was big. We got a whole lot of rain, but we also got a whole lot of wind. I was right down the road. I was almost home, and I had to just stop. I started to say pull over. There was no time to pull over. The wind hit all of a sudden, and it was raining, and I couldn't see a thing. I just had to stop in the road. There was no, luckily it was a dirt road. There was no one there around me. But had there been somebody else there, they would have had to stop too. So, I mean, there's nothing I could do. It's just an immediate stop because it hit all of a sudden. Really high winds, and tore this down. Tore it. Of course, they've been climbing in it and caused all kinds of stuff. But what it actually did, let me get over here. What it actually did is pull the T-post, those 2 T-posts in this way a little bit. And then the wind got this right here. This right here was caught up here and ripped this up. Of course, since then, they've been playing in it, and so it's really torn up. But let's go over here and look at Caleb before I get out. Not Caleb, Tucker. Let's go see what he's over here being a good boy. Let's see what Tucker's doing. Hey, buddy, since you're being a good boy, we got to come see you. That's a good boy. He is such a pretty baby. Are you okay? All your feet work? Look. Yeah, there's Sky. There is Sky. He is such a good boy. He's such a good boy, and he needs a lot of attention, and I don't always have time to give him the attention that he needs. Poor guy. Poor guy. So, like I said, it blew a lot of limbs down, and some of this was old, like just old dead limbs that it blew down, but some of it had leaves on it. And the ones up front, some of the smaller ones I brought back here for the goats to eat. And so it's time to get these up. Greg and I would call these bones when we feed the trees to the goats. Whatever was left, we call them bones, and was like, go get the bones out of the goat pen. Everybody's looking really good, really shiny. They still have the fishtail. I don't know. That's from not having enough copper, and I don't know if that will ever get better. I mean, I bolus them, so they've got enough copper in their systems right now. I'm just saying, I don't know if their tails will ever fix, but you can see, or maybe you can see, their coats are shiny, not dull, real sleek, looking good, all of them. That storm knocked down quite a few branches, knocked down some pretty good sized branches, and actually tore the tarp off of the hoop coop that we had the meat chicks in, or I had meat chicks in, or still have meat chicks in, and it actually moved the hoop coop. I had bricks all the way around the hoop coop, and it picked up one side of the hoop coop and set it on top of the bricks. I mean, it was really strong storm, and I thought when I was in the road and I had to stop all of a sudden, I honestly thought I was in a tornado. I thought that I was in a tornado and that my car would start to blow away at any second. I really did. I didn't know, maybe it was not a very strong tornado because I couldn't tell which way the wind was blowing. I couldn't see anything. It was raining really hard. I could see like maybe leaves or I don't know if it's limbs flying by or leaves flying by when it got real close to the windshield, but I couldn't see to move for nothing. I could not see the road in front of me. And so I thought that I was in a lot of trouble there, but it turned out to be just straight line winds that came through real fast, did a lot of damage, didn't move my car, but it sure did move the hoop coop. And the meat birds, I have 2 left, and actually those aren't mine. So I found someone to take 2 of them and someone else to take these other 2. And so probably the next time I put up a video, these guys will be gone or girls will be gone. But what I want to talk about is the stress that I'm feeling in this economy, mainly right now concerning the goats. Thankfully, I think I have enough hay for the winter for both the cows and the goats, but I have way too many goats, and the goats, come on kitty. It's like every video she's following me around, her and Batman. So the goats are not selling well. I have way too many bucks, and honestly, I have too many does. I am going to be selling. I have been trying to sell. I have listed the goat, or I listed Chase. Let's not get caught in a lie here. I listed Chase with plans on listing some of the females and some of these other 2 bucks. So if you remember, I got 2 extra bucks that were given to me by someone. One of them is registered. One of them can be registered once I get it registered, but it looks like that's going to be more, getting him registered is going to be more trouble than it's worth to me, because I still have to get more information from the person that I got him from, get her to fill out some paperwork and me fill out some paperwork and send it in and pay for it and send it back. And ADGA is really slow, or has been for the last couple of years. It's actually why I gave up on trying to do registered goats. So I'm just going to sell not Pepper, that one right there, Bug, forgot his name. I'm going to sell Bug without papers, and I'll sell Pepper with papers. Like I said, I got the papers from her. It was in a file, and it's not signed, so I have to take it back and get her to sign it, sign the papers over to me. That way I can sell him. But you guys remember I bought a little buckling. See, I have Rocky here, and I have Chase, and I've had Chase for a few years now. He's Rain's son. He was born on my farm, not this one, but the place I was at before this one. I bought a polled buckling this year to try to get some polled calves, and this is where he's got to stay for right now. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. You gonna wake up? As you awake? You gonna wake up, buddy? Oh, he's got to stretch. He's got to stretch. I was just going to keep him and Rocky. Then I was given 2 goats, and I put Chase up for sale, and I had a couple that was going to purchase him. They had made arrangements to pick him up Wednesday afternoon after I got off work. I took him from back here and put him in one of the cages up front. That way, when they came that afternoon, we wouldn't have to catch him. We wouldn't have to come back here at this part. I could just have him up front and load him up in their trailer from up front. Keep people that I don't know from having to come onto my property, make it easier for everybody involved. they did not show up. I know they don't realize that I know this, but I know that they are a few hours away from me. There's a long story behind how I know, and they don't know that I know, but they are a few hours away from me. And they texted me, or he texted me about 30 minutes. I'm gonna sit down for a minute. He texted me about 30 minutes before it was time to pick the goat up, and said that he found some does that he was going to purchase right around this area that he couldn't pick up until Saturday, that they wouldn't be available for him to pick up until Saturday. Could he just pick up the goat then? And I told him no, that wasn't going to work with me. And the reason I told him no is, one, we made an agreement on a price, and part of that agreement was that he was to pick up the goat the next day, which was that Wednesday. We discussed the price on Tuesday. He said, if you'll take this price, I'll pick him up the next morning. I said, well, I can't be there the next morning. Can you pick him up at 5:30 in the evening? And he said that'll work for him. So I set the price. We agreed upon a price based on him picking it up the next day. Two, I made preparations for him to pick it up the next day. Before I went to work, before I got ready for work, I was in the morning feeding everybody and pulling this goat up here by the horns to put him in a cage up front to have him ready for them. Three, as I mentioned, he is a 2.5, 3 hours away from me. And I know this. And he texted me 30 minutes till time to pick him up and asked if he could pick him up on Saturday. That means he hadn't left his house. He knew a couple of hours, at least a couple of hours sooner, that he wasn't coming to get him. And he didn't bother to tell me. And so that frustrates me. Today is Saturday. I still have the goat. And I don't care if they text me and say, if I paid you double for the goat, would you give them to me? The answer is no. I don't like stuff like that. I don't know how you guys would handle that, but I mean, he knew at least 2 hours prior to that moment that he wasn't coming. And I got off work early to be here on time to make sure everything was okay, and the goat was ready to go for him, and then I was available in case they got here just a little bit early. So I will go in a lot more detail on that in my live stream on Monday if you're interested in knowing the details on that. But so right now I've got Chase up there up front in one of those cages. Remember, I've got this buck back here that was in a cage because there's no room. I have Chase up here in one, and I have Pepper in the other, because some things have happened, some exciting news. This is where Pepper was staying. But as you can see, I have my fence up. This is a 5-foot fence. The other one was a 4-foot fence, and Maggie just pretty much stepped over it. She would get out right here. The fence would come up to about right here, and she'd jump onto these and come on down, but not anymore. Let's see if I can, there's Titus coming up. So you see Titus still has the cone of shame. He did go to the doctor last week. The doctor said his foot's looking good and asked me to keep that cone on for another week before I take it off. He got not Mandy. We got Dandy out here. It's not focusing real well. We got Dandy out here, and here comes Maggie. And then I don't know if you can see him because he's really dark, but Chester is sitting back there by those steps. I haven't seen anybody digging since this is opened up, because let's go ahead and take a look at this. I'm real proud of this fence. This is something I've been waiting on. This allows all the dogs to come out for the most part. Like Eddie and Gertie can't come out. I won't let Eddie and Gertie out with Maggie and Chester. So I am going to put T-posts across the side here and put cattle panels there, and only shut it when I'm letting them out and keep the other dogs on the other side while they're out. So they did. The other fence did come out to here, and so there's about maybe 2 feet all the way down that this is in. This other fence is closer to the house on, but that's okay because it goes out a lot further. I wanted to have this open area right here so that I could mow back here, and so that's what they did. They gave me a room to get a riding lawnmower back here. And so it comes on around the corner here, and they go up to the front of the house. And they've got probably double the space, at least double the space that they used to have. This was my raised bed garden that I did nothing with this year. I didn't plant anything this year. But they left it here. I'm going to clean it out. I mean, clean it out really good. Add some soil to that. But they left me room all the way around to mow. I guess right here would need to be done with a push mower. But this over here is left open. I could actually get a riding mower back here. They're not completely done. They expect to have the gates in on Monday. Today's Saturday. So they put these panels up for me. I have 3 gates, one over at the front up here. It's going to be a double gate, a walk-through gate here so that I can get to what will hopefully be a small garden at some point. And then over here where we usually had, when we had the other gate, that'll be, instead of a double gate, that'll be just like a 4-foot walk-through gate over there. And this is good news. And although this is good news, I still have 2 bucks in 2 very small pens up front. I've got a small buck in the chicken coop in the back, and that is not good. That's not where that buck needs to be. He doesn't need to be up here in these small pens either, but he definitely doesn't need to be back there with the chickens and potentially getting chicken feed and eating that. And so that is a big concern of mine and something that I'm going to be working really hard to change. Real quickly, before I forget, I told you guys that I would give you an update on that Grubterra coop refreshener. And I went out there a while ago. It's been a week since I put that out there. And I went out there a while ago, and it smells like a chicken coop. It does not smell like sage and rosemary, the stuff that I put in it from the Grubterra. It does not smell, though, as bad as it usually does. It does smell like chicken, but it's not as strong as it usually is. I will say that. But I don't smell the sage and rosemary, and I don't know if I'm supposed to or not. But I would like to give it more time. We've had some really odd weather. We've had a whole lot of rain. And I noticed the other day when I was spraying down the wasp and the hornet's nest that there's a hole in the roof in there. So rain definitely came down through the roof. The wind was so hard, I know that water got into the coop because the coop is not completely sealed. It even knocked down one of the fence panels off of the coop. So I know that a lot of water got in the coop, and that could have very easily had an effect on the way that coop freshener worked. That coop freshener is a coop freshener. Most coops are don't get water in them. Most coops are sealed pretty good to where there's no water. You have they're just not made like the one that I made. So what I would like to do is try again. That I put down is supposed to last, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks. And I don't know whether to go ahead and put another one in since we don't have any rain in the forecast for a while, or wait a few weeks and try that again. I don't know. Leave a comment down below. Should I go ahead and put another one in there, or wait, just go ahead and wait a few weeks and see how the coop, how it all works out? Because I really feel like this wasn't a fair trial, a fair assessment with all the water that I know came in. But it does smell better. It doesn't smell as strong. I'm going to go ahead and come over here and show you how this coop is set up so that you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. So there's no door on it. And it's got fence panels on it. And it's open up top. Plus, remember, I found that hole in the roof of it, because it has metal roof and then plastic roof in the center and then metal roof again. The plastic roof is to kind of help have a little bit of light in there when I'm in there during the daytime trying to collect eggs. But that plastic part does have a hole in it. And so the wind was blowing back from this direction, blowing in that way, and a lot of water got inside. So go ahead and leave me a comment down below if you think I should go ahead and put some more of that stuff in there, or wait and see how this plays out. See if how long the what is there lasts, because like I said, it isn't as strong as it usually is. But so on the last live stream, somebody mentioned, because I was having problems, I put Caleb in the garage at night because the birds roost up here. And someone mentioned buying one of those plastic owls and put it up here and see if that doesn't scare the birds off. And I said I didn't want to do that. And I gave a couple of reasons. But one of the reasons that I gave, I said I just didn't want to spend any more money just to be like really simple explanation. I don't want to spend any more money because I'm constantly spending money taking animals to the vets or getting vaccinations or heartworm preventative or all that. So someone else sent me one of those owls in the mail. So I'm gonna open this up and try to see if it'll fit on this T-post, and we're gonna see if this works. Something on the bottom here. This looks like it should be a piggy bank. We should just put a little slot up here, and well, it'd be an owl bank, wouldn't it? And boy, that would scare me off. If that goat would stay back, I could do this. I bet he doesn't, though. I bet he knocks that down. Look at them fighting. That's what the bucks do all the time. You guys are actually brothers. Y'all are half brothers. You should be getting along. So, there it is. If the bucks don't knock it down, it'd be Rocky if he does. If Chase was out here, it would already be down. But so with that shade cloth, you see how low that is? That's because the wind it got a lot of rain. This ground got really soft, real wet. Ground got really soft, real wet, and so it actually pushed the T-post in a little bit, and so I tried pulling the zip ties up and straightening it up a little bit, but it falls right back down because the T-posts aren't where they're supposed to be. This isn't going to work, I bet you. I'll probably have to get another T-post and set it away from the fence just a little bit and stick the owl on top of that so that it'll stay. I don't know if that would keep chickens off or not. It works for, I don't know what those owls are for, actually. Pigeons or something, isn't it? Leave a comment below. What do people put the owls up for? But I don't know if chickens are smart enough to be scared of them. So back to the goats. I am having some problems selling Chase. I didn't think selling him would be as difficult because he is registered. He doesn't have a whole lot of dairy I mean, Nigerian dwarfs are dairy goats, but you know, some have better genetics and are bred for more of the dairy production. And he doesn't have any kind of special registration. His background isn't, you know, high-end milk production, but he is a registered goat. And I thought I'd have a better luck selling him. I feel like I'm selling him at a very good price, but at some point I am going to just have to sell him for less, take him to an auction or something, because I have two other bucks that I need to sell. And I mean, I need to sell and sell pretty quickly. But I am going to sell some of those does. I am going to sell Rain and the doe that has the one horn that looks just like her. And I'm probably going to sell the black doe with her daughter, the moon-spotted daughter. And I will keep Rain, keep the other mini La Mancha, and keep the black and brown moon-spotted doe that I like so much. I can't think if there are any more out there that I want to keep or not. But so that would bring me down to maybe 3 or 4 does. And I don't know if I'm going to breed them this winter and have babies in the spring. The sales of Nigerian dwarf goats has just dropped a whole lot, and it's not. I enjoy the goats. I enjoy having babies every spring, but it is not worth what it used to be. So I am still going to try to sell Chase first. Chase is related to the does, most of the does that are over there in some way. And so I can't use him, and he's the only one with horns. And so I need to sell him. If I put does up for sale, all the attention in the ads will be for the does and not for him. So I really need to try to get him sold before I start advertising the does. But heads up, things are about to change in the goat area over here. And I don't know if I mentioned it in the last video or not. I don't remember. But those steers, they have an appointment with the processor in October, the beginning of October. So it is before the election. And so those steers will be gone. So there'll be fewer cows, which is important to me. One, to get the meat back back to us before the elections, because I don't know how that's going to turn out. Either way, whoever wins, there could be chaos. There might not be, but I don't want to take that chance. But also with fewer cows for me to have to worry about through the winter, it is just me here. I'm the only one that comes out and breaks the ice. I'm the only one that comes out and feeds them and gets the hay to them. And so it's easier to make things easy. It's better to make things easier for me. So for the winter time, because winter's hard. Winter's hard for me. I'm also considering rehoming these ducks. I have 3 ducks left, but I don't have a place for them to winter. I don't have a shelter for them, a set place for them to stay in the winter. And so that is just something I'm thinking about. I haven't made up my mind on that. I do enjoy those ducks now that they're not getting into the goats' waters. But that's just a heads up on something else that might or might not happen. Maybe later on when I have more time, when my arm's not hurt, when we're not going into winter, I can get something built for ducks and have a place to have some ducks and get some more ducks. But I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Every year as we go into the winter season, like as we're going actually right about now, end of August and going into September, into the fall season, I start thinking about the winter. I start thinking about sustainability. I start thinking about survival, and I start wanting to reduce what I've got going on here, especially now that it is just me. I'm the only one here. Greg's not here anymore, and so it has changed my world. So anyway, in the springtime, I think about growth, and I want more animals, and I think about the projects that I could be doing or need to be doing. And so we're in the season where I need to cut back and rethink and refocus and see what I'm doing, recalculate, if you will. But that's all I have for this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will put up a couple of videos right here for you to look at. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this content, please consider clicking one of those videos and moving on to the next one and watch the next one of mine. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.